Coming up, it's time to roll out the weekend slate of bets. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode and starting your Friday weekend off with me here. Before I roll out the weekend slate of bets, let's of course recap our action last night on Thursday Night Football. You guys remember we had 7 prop bets and 1 teaser bet. Over and all, last night we went 3-5 in those bets, and we ended up being down 2.62 units, so not on the right side of what we wanted to be last night. It just didn't go our way last night. Let's kind of do a little bit of a recap, and in doing that recap, we could talk about the game and talk about some of the frustrating things that went against us. The NFL, man, the margins of winning or losing, whether it's an actual real football game or bets, the margins are just really, really razor thin. So let's go through these prop bets here for you and kind of talk about them. We, of course, had the Murray anytime touchdown. That was one of our unsuccessful bets. That one was frustrating. You guys remember watching that game in the fourth quarter, how the Cardinals got the touchdown. They were there, maybe I think they're within inside the 5-yard line, somewhere around there. They called a perfect play. They called a Kyle Murray keeper. They had Kenyon Drake as the lead blocker, and for whatever reason, he decided to bounce it outside rather than following Kenyon Drake. I thought Joe Buck and Troy Aikman did a very nice job explaining that play with these, the sky camera angle that they provided. It was right there. Kenyon Drake was, clearly his lead blocker on there. He was going to pick up, one of the linebackers, and it looked like Kyle Murray was just really going to maybe walk into the end zone or maybe, have to, bounce off a tackle. But he was either way, he was definitely going to fall into that end zone. So that was really unfortunate. That was a play that obviously was called for Kyler Murray. It was right in front of him. And, unacceptable reason for why he decided to bounce that out. So that was really unfortunate. Our other unsuccessful prop bets, we took the Murray over 280.5 passing yards. He ended up with 269. It was right there in front of him in that final drive. They were driving down the field. It was looking pretty good on the last set of downs there that ended up actually costing them the game with the turnover on downs. On first down, if you guys remember, he bounced the pass on into Hopkins. He makes a better throw there where the ball doesn't bounce into Hopkins. Now you're looking at maybe 2nd and 5, maybe 2nd and 6, something along those lines. But then for some reason, I don't understand why on 2nd and 3rd down, he decided to take a shot on 2nd down in the end zone to Larry Fitzgerald, who he was double coverage on that. He had a safety over top and, the corner on him as well up underneath. So that was just an ill-advised pass there by Kyler Murray. And then on 3rd down, he tried to force one in there right by the pylon on the corner of the end zone. I can't quite remember if it was Kirk or maybe Isabella. But either way, the receiver there was double covered too. So another time where Kyler Murray on 2 straight plays tried to go for the home run ball, tried to go for the touchdown when all he needed to do was just keep chipping away at what he had been doing on that drive. They started off on their own 20, and they had gotten all the way down to Seattle's territory, just picking up 10 yards at a time. Very nice passing. It was right there. All he needed was 12 more yards on that drive, and obviously he couldn't get it up doing it on 4th down. He ends up taking that sack, and that's obviously game over right there. And then the other prop bet we had there was obviously DeAndre Hopkins over 6.5 receptions. He ended up with 5. Again, I mentioned that ball that was skipped into him. That would have been his 6th catch. And obviously then the drive is, obviously a lot different right there. Instead of 2nd and 10, it's 2nd and 5. Maybe the play call changes there from Cliff Kingsbury. He only needs one more catch. The drive was still going to have momentum there. Maybe even goes into overtime if they get the touchdown there. So there's an opportunity there for one more catch. So he falls up 2 short. And then Kristen Kirk, we had over 4.5 receptions. He had 4 receptions. Kind of the same story there with Hopkins. If they just make that play there to Hopkins, it's 2nd and 5. The drive is still going. Maybe Kirk can get one more reception either on that drive or in overtime. So he falls 1 short. The 3 prop bets that we did get hit, we got Murray over 24.5 reception or completions. That was relatively easy. You saw the game plan there. The game plan was definitely to come out a little bit more pass heavy than rush heavy. So over 20.5, that hit easily given the first half struggles. I'm not going to sit here and dissect that first half because a lot didn't go our way. So it's hard to nitpick on the first half where, here in the second half, we can nitpick the Kyler Murray rushing touchdown that didn't happen and obviously really examine that last drive on things that didn't go our way. But the over 24.5 cashed easily even with the first half struggles. Larry Larry Fitzgerald went over 3.5. He had himself a hell of a night catching the ball and receiving. That one catch that he had on that final drive where they threw that wide receiver screen and then he had 3 blockers and he hesitated a little bit, let those blockers get in front of him. That's just a really nice veteran play by Fitzgerald. That was really nice. So that was a good, easy cash. And then we had Chase Edmonds over 2.5 receptions. I mean, his stats show all along that this whole season he's the pass catching back on this team. So over 2.5 hit relatively easy. And then, of course, we lost our teaser with the Cardinals plus 9.5. That was covered, but we didn't get the over 51.5. That part let us down. Again, if that last drive kind of goes a little bit different, they're able to get a touchdown. It cashes right there, but then even maybe, or definitely, even if it goes to overtime or not, we get that touchdown and it's 28-28. That teaser right there crashes. So just unfortunate that last drive. I really felt like that last drive, when it started off on their own 20 and they got the first, the first completion there was to Fitzgerald. I think if it wasn't for a first down, it was right at the sticks there and almost a first down. It just felt like that drive was going to happen to us. We were going to get the Murray prop, either maybe Hopkins or Kirk was going to come through. You get 2 of those that come through, and instead of going 3-5, we go 5-3, and we can catch a little profit, and then our teaser would hit there. So that would actually put us then at 6-2. Actually, sorry, not 5-3. That would hit us at 6-2. If that final drive ends in a touchdown, we would end up being 6-2. So that's what I'm talking about here, guys. The margins of winning or losing are just razor thin in the NFL. Tonight we ended up on the short end of the stick, but we've, over the course of the season and over the course of betting here in our lifetime, we've ended up on the right side, and that's what we'll obviously look to do going forward. It just didn't quite happen to us last night, but we'll pick ourselves up. We don't like losing 2.62 units here on the show. It's not something that we take that we take lightly. We take that very seriously, and we'll look to just bounce back. We're going to come back stronger from this and put in some more bets and get them suckers to cash for us. Man, that was frustrating. Man. All right, I'm going to go ahead and... How many bets did I give you guys? I've already given you guys 6, and then I've got 2 more. So we got 8 bets total. I'm going to run through the ones that I've already given you throughout this week. You guys remember on Wednesday's show, we didn't put any bets for those days, but I gave you guys bets on those shows that happened over the weekend. I just want to go ahead and recap those with you guys here. So let me run through. I'll go through the Premier League bets first, and then we'll hit the 2 NFL bets I've already given you. So in the soccer, we've got Chelsea money line parlay with over 1.5 goals, and that came in at minus 138. We took the United team total over 2.5, and that comes in at plus 128. We took Aston Villa and Brighton over 2.5 goals, and that came in at minus 132. We took Leicester and Liverpool, both teams to score yes, and parlayed that with over 2.5, and that came in at minus 121. So those are the 4 Premier League bets. If you want any justification for those, I gave those out on Wednesday's show. So you can go back into my playlist on the daily sports betting playlist, find Wednesday's episode, and you can get justification on those 4 Premier League bets. On Tuesday's show, I gave you 2 NFL bets. I gave you Dolphins minus 2.5 at minus 145. And then I've got Steelers, Browns, money line parlay, and we gave you that one at minus 113. And I gave those out on Tuesday's show. So if you want any justification, just go find Tuesday's episode and give that a watch, and you can get my feelings on those 2 football games. I didn't give you guys in doing this recap of those bets where I purchased them from, only because lines have changed. So now I don't know where the better deal is. So I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. You may have to do a little bit of line shopping, but that's the reason why I didn't do that in my recap. Obviously, me providing the sportsbook is something that I like doing, and I think it's extremely helpful from you guys. It saves you guys from having to line shop and saves a lot of time. But that's the reason why I didn't do it there. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into it. I've got 2 more bets to add to the weekend slate here for you guys. The first matchup we want to look at here is Bengals versus Washington. Look, there's one football team in the National Football League that has 0 points on its opening drive. I got this stat from a buddy of mine. He's a big-time Washington fan. He lives in Richmond, Virginia. Obviously, I know he watches all the game, but maybe they threw up a stat or something. He told me that Washington is the only team that hasn't scored on their opening drive. One football team, and it's Washington is the only team that hasn't scored on their opening drive. If we look at the Bengals on their opening drive, they've got 5 punts, 2 field goals, 1 touchdown, and 1 turnover. I'm going to go ahead and take a fire bet, one that we love doing in baseball, no runs in the first inning. This one's pretty similar. It's what's going to be the result of the first drive. I've already put in a bet of punt, and that came in at minus 125 over at FanDuel. So Bengals, Washington, result of the first drive, minus 125 is going to be a punt, and that's over at FanDuel. Actually, I have 2 more bets for you here. Not 2 total. I have 2 more, so I have 3 total here. All right, the next bet we're going to look at here is Patriots versus Texans. Look, we know about the Patriots, right? They're hitting their form. It looks like Bill Belichick has gotten to the point where, while it may have taken a handful of games for him to figure out who they are, he now knows who they are. They had an impressive comeback win against the Jets. You could say that maybe the Jets gifted them with that fourth quarter interception, but even after that interception, the Patriots still had to make plays, and that's exactly what they did, so give them credit. And again, it just feels like they're figuring out who they are. They had a really impressive win on Sunday Night Football against a good Ravens football team. It looks like the Patriots are rounding in a form, looking like a really good, solid football team coming in now. And they're going up against the Texans. Look, the 29th ranked defense in the National Football League. The Texans are 2-7 this season. 2-7, and both wins are against the Jaguars. So not a good team whatsoever here in the Texans. They struggled last week against Cleveland. Both wins, again, are against the Jaguars. They're not getting it done. I like the Patriots' money line here, and it's painful for me to say that as a Buffalo Bills fan, but you know what? I'm going to ride Bill Belichick. Again, he seems like he knows what he's doing here in the last few weeks. They've turned the corner. I'm taking that Patriots' money line, and that's minus 122 over at FanDuel. The last bet for you here, I really won't elaborate too much. It's one of the contests on the Fox Bet Super 6 app to win $1 million. You guys know how I feel about the Falcons and the Saints due to watching that video. I predicted the Falcons to win on that video, but in terms of placing actually real money, instead of placing the money line bet on the Falcons, I went ahead and just did the spread. If you can find the spread of plus 4.5 over at FanDuel, and that comes in at minus 114. All right, guys, so those are the bets we'll do for you. We'll do the 4 Premier League bets, and we'll do these 5 NFL bets. So that's 9 bets in total right now heading the weekend. Of course, follow me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. I may look to add some more action depending on how these are going throughout Saturday. And also some NFL prop bets as they get released on Saturday and early Sunday morning. So just look for me on Twitter to drop any NFL prop bets for you. Remember, I dropped an NFL prop bet for you guys on Saturday afternoon. That's Jakeem Grant over 28.5 receptions. I'm always out there looking for gems for us. And if I find one, I'll certainly tweet it out and let you guys know. Otherwise, enjoy your Friday and enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you have a great time with friends and family this weekend. Whatever you end up doing, have a great time. And I'll see you back on Monday's show on Monday, Sunday, where we'll sum up the weekend and sum up the entire week and see how we all do. All right, guys, I'm Jason Mattis, and I'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.